Good day, everyone. I am Suziene Imperial, your moderator for today's session. For our panel discussion, we will have a thoughtful conversation regarding education in the social milieu, critical attributes of the 21st century education. For our regulations, each panelist will have a maximum time of 1 minute to present her thoughts on the given topic. Other panelists should not interrupt, only after the panelists have shared their perspective. However, the audience may be given the chance to ask questions. To formally introduce our panelists, we have Ms. Sobiono, Ms. Macario, Ms. Taghoy, and Ms. Paglinawan, and the rest of our members will be the audience. Ms. Sobiono will be the first to share her thoughts about the topic.
So yes, information and communication technology or ICT are tools used for communication and storing up information, data, or input such as computer, laptop, projector, social media, and etc. These are just few of the ICT tools.
Thank you, Ms. Sobiono. Ms. Sobiono has an excellent insights. Now let's hear from Ms. Macario's view.
The integration of ICT in education is when you, as a classroom teachers, use ICT to introduce, reinforce, extend, enrich, assess, and remediate students' mastery of curricular targets.
Ms. Taghoy, you may now state your views.
A 21st century education is about giving students the skills they need to succeed in this new world. We have to help them grow the confidence to practice those skills. With so much information readily available to them, 21st century skills focus more on making sense of that information, sharing and using it in smart ways. 21st century teachers need to serve as a guide or mentor for their students. Teachers need to be empowered as facilitators and motivators for learning so that they can empower their students in turn.
Thank you, Ms. Taghoy, for your sharing your ideas. And for the last panelist, Ms. Paglinawan, you may state your perspective.
In these modern times, ICT has the biggest contribution and impact in providing new and innovative education. It increases the availability and promotes easy access in teaching and learning. It gives also a wider range of opportunities in integrating an effective and sustainable development in this ever-changing environment.
What a fantastic perspective, panelist! Now it's time to take questions from the audience. For the audience, you may write your questions on the chat box and I'll be the one to read the questions for the panelists. For our first question, how do you assess students' 21st century life and career skills and their learning environments?
The aim of this study is to highlight the importance of understanding the protective factor which help the youth to overcome adversity and to identify characteristics and skills, cognitive and non-cognitive, in order to help the youth be successful in the post-secondary education as well as in the workforce. Through using the exploratory factor analysis and descriptive statistics, which examines the student's perception.
Thank you, Miss. Any additional idea from Miss Zynie?
Yes, I'd like to add that results in the research indicates that the 21st century life and career skills scale and the 21st century skills classroom environment scale are brief psychometrically sound measures. The 21st century life and career skills scales assesses students' leadership and responsibility, working with others effectively, and adaptability. The 21st century skills classroom and environment scale is a reliable measure of students' perceptions of the ways in which their classroom environment supports their development of 21st century life and career skills.
Thank you, Miss, for providing your different insights. Our next question is how the results of this study be utilized in enhancing the 21st century life and career skills of students and their learning environment.
As said on the study, researchers, youth development professionals, educators, and other service providers can utilize these measures in ongoing investigation, assessment, and progress monitoring to foster and advocate for 21st century life and career skill development among youth. As they always said, there is always a room for improvement. We can make use of these results in order for us to look for a way on how to improve the 21st century life and career skills of students and their learning environments.
Actually, the result of this study is a huge stepping stone to the development of the students in instilling 21st century life and career skills as well as the 21st century learning environment.
Will information and communication technology make a difference in the teaching learning process? How?
Yes, ICT tools will definitely make a difference in the teaching and learning process. How? By integrating these tools in the classroom. It is proven during the pandemic here in the Philippines that ICT tools are helpful in facilitating distance learning. And aside from that, it provides new avenue, outlet, or network of knowledge to the students by searching in the internet. Through also the use of ICT, it lessened the burden of the teachers in handling the class, especially the large class. And besides, it helps the classroom to be more interactive as the students become active learner. Ultimately, ICT tools caters the multiple types or kinds of intelligences. So yes, ICT tools definitely make a difference in the teaching and learning process.
Our next question is, how can teachers effectively use computers and the internet in the classroom?
So, students nowadays are interested in the internet and computers. We can observe that most of them like to use it. For teachers, it is an advantage in teaching learning process. Learning occurs when students are actively engaged in teaching learning process. So how can teachers use it effectively in a classroom? With the use of computers and internet, teacher may develop individualized instruction. This means that teachers can create and formulate instruction for their students. For example, teachers may use computers in presenting lessons or allowing students to use computers where they can engage in the teaching learning process. Teacher can also let students explore different sources of information and learn at their own pace using the internet. This enables students to explore, discover, and create their own understanding. Thus, students are able to supplement what's still lacking and needed for their own learning.
Thank you for providing your insight about the question, Miss Macario. How would you prepare the students to handle the unreliable and unscholarly materials found in the internet?
As the use of technologies increases in the classrooms, it is our duties as educators to ensure that our students fully understand that internet is a fantastic source of information for them, but unfortunately not all of the information online can be trusted. We know that the digital world is already changing our classes and probably bringing us more challenges to consider with every teaching plan. However, as students are surrounded by fake news, they are no distant victims of misinformation that might pop up anytime in their online research or social media feeds. It should start by educating them about misinformation and unreliable materials, including the definition of each, why someone might create them, how they spread, and the dangers of believing them. We can also tackle concepts such as user-generated content and circular reporting, where unscholarly materials gets shared by multiple parties and somehow starts sounding verifiable.
Thank you, Ms. Taghoy, for your answer. For our last question, discuss the relationship between education and the industry and the mismatch between the knowledge and skills acquired by the students and the industry needs.
Educational institutions sustain its relationship with industry to collaborate and work proactively in order to deliver appropriately skilled and capacitated graduates to meet the societal and economic needs. But sadly, the mismatch between the knowledge and skills and the industry needs hinders it all. The problem is that education and training are not providing the skills demanded in the labor market, or that the economy does not create jobs that correspond to the skills of individuals.
Thank you, Ms. Paglinawan. I really hope that our viewers were able to obtain some great ideas about the topic. I would like to thank our panelists and other members that take their part for our session today. This is Zynie Imperial wishing you a great day ahead.